Cynocephalians are a hard province. They are a very hard province, in fact, and they're best left towards the end, near the end of the expansion. They typically include medium to very high numbers of very competent double attacking ogre sized troops with a couple of commanders and a javelin guys and bow guys. If these guys look a little weedy, it's because I've bounced off them already in trying to make this example. The best way of taking these guys is honestly just to swarm them with superior numbers. You're generally looking at around 3 to 1 or more in order to get them. These guys I have currently are on double lines and attack rear, though anything you can do to ensure a good wraparound will work. You generally want to separate out the Cynocephalians and then fight them piecemeal. You will be taking shortbow fire, but it's better than taking a bunch of other... It's better than coming in and having to fight them all in melee at once. Even with the massive outnumbering, the Cyno line kind of keeps fighting pretty well. And I do take 50 casualties out of the almost 200 troops I bring to this battle, so that shows you just how dangerous these guys are. There's not really a way to cheese them. You could bring ranged weapons, but that doesn't, since they do have low armor and no head prot, but since that will berserk them and send them at your lines, you still need to be vastly superior in numbers to them to prevail. Very, very dangerous province, very hard, often one that you will bounce off of and come back to. Once you have captured it, though, it is a gem of a prize. Unlike some of the others, it is well worth the effort to capture it. Leader is nothing special, but he does... actually, no, he's a shit leader. Oh well. But he may want to carry a GSS or something, given that he has innate berserk and very high strength. The Cynos themselves, they come in two flavors. They come in the warrior, which is excellent. Low resources and fairly low recruitment points means that it is pretty easy to mass them, which can give you additional raiding or expansion squads out of these provinces. They aren't as strong as they are as indies, since they are appropriately priced, whereas the indies receive shitloads without having to pay, but still generally worth it enough to recruit as a player, since you can get a raider squad in a couple of turns, or possibly, as I said earlier, additional expansions. The Cynocephalian Hunter is an interesting one. I won't dwell on him too much, but needless to say, the combination of berserking and a bow means that he can do interesting things with them, having them shoot their bows while being buffed, and then throwing them in either with Touch of Madness or just waiting for their berserk to trigger and sending them in like little missiles. Real prize of this province, even more so than those, is the Cynocephalian Shaman. While this is overpriced for what it brings into battle solo as a battle mage, the 3 different randoms and then the 50% other randoms mean that you can roll a shitload of paths with it, and both single paths and cross paths that you might not be willing to you might not be able to get into otherwise. So it is well worth it to fort or lab and temple these provinces. It does need a lab and temple just to roll those dice and get the cross paths that your nation might need. And even if you aren't, you can still find uses for the ones that roll duds. The astral cross path, especially, getting astral on nations that don't have it is very, very good, and can enable you to do communion shenanigans, that kind of thing. PD, unusual for the underground, it is excellent, as you have 2 lines of PD. Your both your warriors and archers. You're not getting quite 1 per click, but you are getting a competent enough force that it is worth a PD dump to destroy weaker enemy raiding units and serve as a landmine for enemy raider forces.